mean, so much going on. Government shutdown. This is officially the longest shutdown. President likes to say he got the biggest turnout at the inauguration and the big. So he can say that he has the longest shutdown in history. And when people, and I think they try to make people nervous with this and say there's no end in sight. I think that an end is in sight. Yeah. This ain't gonna go on forever. Right. It ain't gonna go on no years. It ain't gonna go on months with an S. I think that this is gonna be over within the next week.
Yeah, I thought by the end of the month, and I really think that he will implement the Emergency Powers Act. But
how do you feel about that?
But here's the thing: this is going to allow all of them to save face, because he'll implement that and it'll immediately go to the courts.
Right.
It's going to go to the Ninth Circuit. He wants it to go.
He don't want it to go to the Ninth Circuit.
But he knows he's going to lose in the Ninth Circuit.
Absolutely.
He wants to get to the Supreme Court.
Then he'll appeal it.
And then and so it's going to get into the court. So he'll say, well, we're going to get it built. I'm suing. I'm getting the emergency powers is in, and so they're going to go back. People are going to go back to work.
So if he does that, you're absolutely right. Democrats can save face and say that we stuck to our guns.
Right.
He can tell the Republicans, I fought hard for you. I took it all the way to this point. You know what I mean?
And
even though it never happened.
When he gets to the Supreme Court,
but I don't think it'll get to the Supreme Court before the next election.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It'll get tied up. We talking.
Right. But I mean, that's what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
He's
Absolutely.
He said he's gonna go to the Ninth Circuit. We're gonna lose. Don't fear. We're gonna lose. I'm telling you right now. But when it gets to the Supreme Court, we're gonna win. And it's going to be one lady less. I'm not saying what he's going to be saying.
He said, I'm not saying it's her.
That's right.
I'm not saying who.
I'm going to be able to pick another one before then.
I'm not going to say that it's going to be the lady that's been there 25 years. I'm not going to say it's her.
Right.
Yeah. But that's another thing that is that is disheartening.
Him being able to pick
another one. Because I think that they angled out the last guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what they had on him. Got him. We didn't even know she was going to be sick. We knew she was going to be sick. We wouldn't even got rid of him. You know what I mean? Because they did something to get him out of there. But after a certain point in time, they're going to try to say she's not physically capable, and they're going to try to push her out of there.
Because she is what 86, 87.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I saw interviews with several doctors, and they seem to feel that she can come back from this. Mm-hmm. But the last thing we need is another Kavanaugh type on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, oh yeah, he would love it. He would be another pick. Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you used to feel like take something to the Supreme Court. That was going to be, we're going to get a fair shake here.
Right.
Now I don't know.
Yeah, he'll put what's the guy's name? Steve King.
Oh, yeah, he'll do something like that.
Yeah. Just insane.
So at this point, does it matter who's to blame for the shutdown?
Yeah, it does.
Why? Why does it matter?
Yeah, because he is the cause of the shutdown. Completely, absolutely.
Talking about this president.
President Trump. Yeah, Putin's chump. That's what I call him. Mm-hmm. And the reason, because he talked about it in 2016, that they're gonna build a wall. Mexico's gonna pay for it, and his people were chanting, "Mexico, we're gonna build a wall. Who's gonna pay for it? Mexico's gonna pay for it." Now he's having Americans bankrupt. People can't pay their mortgages and rents. No checks coming in to pay for the wall. Mm-hmm. No. It's his fault. Then he said 3 weeks ago that I'm proud to take the banner. So you have to keep up everything he said in the forefront. Because he says things that he's a con man, so he just say anything.
Right.
See whether it sticks or not.
Right.
And that's all the wall was. When he came down that elevator talking about Mexico, they send us their criminals, their drug addicts, they don't see us they're good people. You know, he's just throwing it up, and that's all he does. And the people fall for it.
His supporters have fallen, as they say, hook, line, and sinker, for that stuff. So the thing that perplexes me about him and why he's so fearful of the base, he's led the base to this wall theory. If he didn't get the wall, or if he decided to change the parameters of the deal with the Democrats, why couldn't he just lead them somewhere else and say, this is the new wave, this is what we're doing now? I know I said that. I know I said I was going to do it for this. But why didn't he tell the...
But you have to keep in consideration, you got to keep thinking about the Hannitys and Limbaugh. Mm-hmm. They are hardball directing. So they're the one that kept putting back on that wall.
Because he was getting ready to... Yeah.
I agree with it. He's going to sign it. And they said, wait a minute, you can't do that. And then you're going to lose your base. You're going to use it, and so... and that's the only reason that the Republicans, the Republicans still following him in the Senate, is because they're scared of their base too. But it's getting smaller, and those in the Senate now, in 2020, they're going to be up for election.
And that's what I'm saying. So why is it they're going to literally follow him off the cliff?
Yeah. A lot of them. Some are not. Some are not.
Do you see any cracks in there now?
Oh yeah, because Romney is trying to lead the way, mm-hmm. And Romney wants to be a deal maker in the Senate. So he's going to. I think Romney's going to be is going to work for the people in a good way. I think of course he's going to be he's a Republican, and he it's not to say that all Democrats are we
were talking about that off air.
Are the great ones. We have and I say we, the African Americans and Hispanics and the minorities have to get more in charge, because we have always been led by a white Democrat, a white Republican, male. So now the the Democratic Party is becoming more diverse now, and these women, these women are fearless.
Definitely,
they're fearless, and we need them. We need them.
There is a women's march this Saturday, 11 o'clock, that is starting at the War Memorial. They were just in here. The ladies that were in here before you came in, that's what they were talking about. So that's going to be this Saturday, and they're gearing up for. They said that they had 5,000 people the last time in 2017, and that's big. And they're gearing up for a very big one for 2020, as you can imagine. So, so the Democrats should not blink on this. They should let him make this move.
Yeah.
They shouldn't cave in.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And so we were talking about this off air. The I don't want to say groundswell. That's probably too big of a number, but there are some people probably on the Democratic side that feel like maybe they should just cave in. Mm-hmm. What do you have to say to those type of people who think like that?
Some of them, I've heard some of them say that there are 800,000 people out of work and they need paychecks. Right. And that's what he wants you to do, is get scared and start talking about we got a cave. That's what he's banking on. Mm-hmm. But if it's 800,000, if you give him an inch, this guy will take the country. Next is going to be 8 million. He'll do it again, and then have another shutdown. Be 8 million of you out. You got to nip it in the bud. You got to stay. You got to draw that literal
red line
in the sand, right here. Mm-hmm. No more, because we kept talking all 2018 and 17 that we got to stop him, and since the Democrats didn't have any control in the House, They have it now. They've got to make. We have to be able to see a difference between 2019 and 2017 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see a difference. You cannot let this man keep rolling over. And he's getting his marching orders from Putin. Cause chaos. Create chaos in your country. Create chaos, and that's what.
That's exactly what he's doing.
And that's what they're telling him to do.
So you have the mindset that they need to get the government open back up, and then start talking about this border security stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what. I think that's probably how
it's going to happen. The DACA. You feel that the DACA kids should be involved in this?
They're going to probably try to bring them in. I think the thing should be kept separate. Just deal with this wall that you want to build, and versus security for the country, which means more border guards, electronics. I mean, it has to be more sophisticated because we already know that if they're talking about, they keep talking about drugs coming in, and then and the Democrats are saying, well, the drugs are 80% are coming right through the gates in trucks. Trump said, was it Sunday or yesterday? He said that they're coming in cars and trucks. He said they're brilliantly hiding those drugs in cars and trucks, on the wheels, in the brakes of the cars. What does that have to do with the wall? So how is that going to stop? I mean, the guy's off bed. Off beat. But here's the thing: they're not really talking about the drugs. They don't want to say, we don't want those people in here. That's what it is. It ain't the drugs. We don't want none of them in here.
I mean, to me, if you said that, it's better than this dumb lie. You know what I mean? Because the conversation's different.
Right.
The conversation is now debunking the lie that you're telling.
But and to show you how much of the lie is and how they don't want to deal with it, and they put the drugs up there. If you were really concerned about these people coming over, we have no wall. Don't hire them when they come over here. Don't hire. You find the companies who hire these people. Okay.
That's true.
If they can't get a job, they don't come over here. Because they coming over here because they hire them because they're cheap. They get cheap labor.
Okay.
And so if you're really concerned about it, then you need to prosecute those companies, starting with Trump company, because he's probably
that hire illegal workers.
Illegal workers. He had, what was it 2 weeks ago? Two of his people came up and said that they showed him how to make phony papers and everything. Trump's people. So if you have those companies and you make a mandate, any companies in the United States that hire illegal immigrants will be fined $50,000, $100,000 will be fined. It'll stop. It will stop. So it's not that it's the drugs and it's the people that are coming, but yet. They just full of bull.
They don't have the courage to say that.
No. And they're not for real. Anything it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
If it was for real, they would stop it right at the nip of the butt.
Right. 100% agree with that. 100%. So this next story, just to show you the mindset of this president. He has an extravagant $3,000 300 sandwich celebration with the athletes from Clemson University last night. So he hosts the Clemson University football team at the White House, the victorious team. So what did they have to eat? Did you see the picture?
Yeah, I heard it.
And so they have this, you go to the White House, and I don't know what you expect to get to eat at the White House for this, but this is, I'm sure, not what they expected. So Trump claims because of the shutdown, he decided to pay out of pocket for a boatload of fast food for these players. And just before the team arrived, he took a photo with the food. He says, I like it. I like it all. It's all good stuff. Great American food. And it's going to be very interesting to see at the end of this evening how many are left. So, you know.
I have nothing to say about him, about that.
Yeah, no class. No.
He had said something that the women had gotten angry about if he didn't have the hamburgers, they could go and he could get his wife and his daughter to make sandwiches. Make salads. You know, and some of the female reporters got insulted about it.
I'm sure.
You know, so he just, he's just.
Yeah, so
he's a clown.
He had pizzas, hamburgers, many French fries, all of my favorite foods. He said the reason I did it like this was because of the shutdown. I wanted to make sure everything was right.
Listen, the only good thing I can say about Donald Trump, this guy doesn't get sick. I mean, they never say he got a fever, got a cold. I done had a cold a couple times since he's been in office. I've been bedridden. I haven't heard about this guy being bedridden. This guy is what, 72, 73?
Yeah. So that we roll right through that. So his pick for Attorney General.
Yes.
This is not his first rodeo.
Yes, William Barr. I don't remember him from the Bush administration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So his his whole thing started today.
I listened to some of the hearings and and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be.
You mean putting him in his position?
It's not going to be good because he's an old pro.
Yes, he's skilled. Yeah, and he knows how to answer the questions.
Yes, he does.
Which means he doesn't really answer them.
Right, and then he said something that was good. He said, "Listen, I can't remember what the question was, but this is how he responds." He said, "Listen, if I was 40, 45, maybe I would, but at my age, I'm just shooting straight. There's no."
Is that a quote like that?
Took his glasses off.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I ain't right, exactly. And so they fall right in line. That's a perfect line. You get him.
Yeah.
He's gonna get nominated.
Yeah, he is expected to be confirmed, and the thing about it is that what a lot of people are worried about is, will he protect Mueller? Mm-hmm. Will he allow the public to see the findings? Will we have transparency?
No, we're not.
We're not.
Because he already said that being the Attorney General, I've got discretion. And I want to use right from the beginning, I got discretion to do what I want to do. And I'm and this guy, Donald Trump, wouldn't have put him in there if he didn't have assurances.
Absolutely.
That he was going to do what he wanted to do.
Absolutely. So he said that I will not be bullied into doing anything I think is wrong by anybody, whether it be editorial boards, Congress, or the president. And that's supposed to be tough talk. Mm-hmm. But he's just going to go along with what Trump wants him to do. And, because the key was if he doesn't think it's right or wrong. But he was, I thought that was right, so I did that. You know what I mean? He's written opinions that really, he's a presidential powers kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And I am not. I think that one bad thing that has happened over the last 30 years or so is that the president, little by little, has gotten and accumulated and amassed too much power. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They have too many ways that they can circumvent Congress. Mm-hmm. And if you have a guy in position that is a presidential powers kind of guy, that just means that you have more people helping this president circumvent Congress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No question about it. And we are in, as Martin Luther King said, with some difficult days ahead. But I think we're going to be successful.
Yeah.
I think as a country we will be able to ride it out because this information that's going to be coming from Mueller is going to be squashed by them, and Mueller's people are going to, have an uproar. Congress, I think what's going to happen is that Congress is going to get involved, and we're going to get bits and pieces, for the next year about what he had to say, because he's going to immediately come out and say, "See, all that was for nothing. All that money we spent on that investigating me was nothing." Although his man just said, Barr said today that it wasn't a witch hunt, that he believed that.
He said that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised he said that.
He said that he believed that Russia definitely interfered with the elections, and that Mueller's investigation was not a witch hunt. That I mean, thing that when they get the paperwork and they look at it and say, well, nothing to see here, and they're going to give out little bits and pieces. But I think Mueller and his people are going to be able to give information to Congress so it can get filtered down to us, the people, so we can see exactly what's going on. Last week, the FBI said we started investigating this guy as soon as he fired Mueller and said on television, being interviewed, that I did it because he was investigating me and putting pressure about Russia. That's the reason I fired him.
Right. And that's exactly where we're going. And it's just, it's shocking the fact that you have the FBI and multiple people asking a valid question is Trump a Russian agent?
Yes. And we've been saying that all along.
Yeah. We have been saying that. Yes. But now the rest of the people are catching up with this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you, the ramifications of who was it that said you have to be Caesar, above reproach? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You have to be above the thoughts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, not even the action, the fact that somebody even thinking that you would do that.
You think about thinking about.
Right.
Thinking about that idea.
Right.
Well, see, that went by the wayside, even with the Kennedy being put on the Supreme Court. Women coming forth saying he did this, he did that. Kavanaugh coming, he did this, he did that. You got to be above. He should have got in there. Period.
Right. Just on these allegations alone, the fact that your name is dirty in the streets,
right? Exactly.
is a disqualifying.
It's a disqualifying. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this guy has brought the bar down so low, Trump, that anything goes. That's why it's gonna be 50 people running for president. It's
gonna be the most in history. So let's talk a little bit more about this. And we've spoken about the conversation with Putin, and we've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. The fact that it was just in one meeting, Tillerson and the interpreter, Putin and Trump, for our, on our side. So Tillerson obviously is not going to speak about it for whatever reason. They're talking about the potential of subpoenaing the interpreter to try to find out what was said. What do you think about that?
Well, he supposedly took the notes from.
Yeah, so how's she gonna know?
And he what did he do?
And he probably threw them away. He ate the note. He put it on a Big Mac and ate the note. But here's my question. And you remember during the Nixon, we keep having to go back to the Nixon, Watergate, and the aftermath of that. You remember when they put a subpoena out for the tapes? Some of the tapes got destroyed, missing. You know, there was a lie about her reaching for the phone and keeping her foot. You know, all that foolishness. Yes, when she lied, she was telling like Huckabee Sanders level lies. But they said how they were able to get those tapes, that these tapes belong to the American people. Because you work for the American people. So is there a way that these notes belong to the conversation? Like, what is there some kind of argument for that?
Yeah, but you know, we're dealing with a criminal mind, because how do you know that you know, he gives you some notes? How do you know that those are?
No, I'm saying they're gone. I'm saying, but is that obstruction there? Like you destroyed, America property, the property of the American people.
And we, the American people are supposed to know what you talked about. They had 5 meetings with this man.
And we don't know what was said.
Giving him direction.
Actually, we do know what was said, because we can tell by his actions what was said.
Right.
You can tell by his actions what was said.
Right.
And he spits the talk. He spits the Russian talking points.
Exactly. They just talked about the other day how Putin is talking about that the Soviet Union going into Afghanistan was a good thing now, because they were killing terrorists. All along, even the in Russia, they had accepted the fact that they shouldn't have been in there. But now, this guy, the president, was saying their talking points. We had Putin, the Russians did right going to Afghanistan 30 years ago to fight terrorists.
That is
completely
disputed.
No Americans, nobody in the world was even thinking of talking about this, except for Putin.
And you're talking about during the Carter administration.
Yes, that's when they were. Yeah,
definitely, people were. That was not what people were saying.
Did you see at the NATO meeting? Did you see this guy, the president? They showed him. There's a little country, and the name eludes me. In one of the countries that Russia wants to get back into the fold with them. I can't think of the name. Next week, I can't think.
Not Crimea.
Huh?
Crimea?
No, smaller than Crimea. Not you never even heard of it before.
Oh.
And they had talked about the fact that Trump was talking about
Belarus.
The fact that Trump was talking about it. He never even heard of the country before, and he said that the country was aggressive and needed to be.
Oh yeah.
You gotta watch them; they're aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's because Putin was trying to kill the guy. It had a hit out for the president, and it folded. It was a blunder. But here's the point: at the NATO meeting, because this country came into NATO now, but at the NATO meeting, the president of the United States bumped the president of that little country's shoulder like this, and then pushed him out of the way. He's Putin's man. It was so unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And this guy is under Putin.
Montenegro.
Yes.
Montenegro.
Yes. That's it. I had never heard of it before.
Me either.
And the president of the United States is under the influence of the president of Russia. I mean, this is incomprehensible. And everybody knows it. His actions, like you just said, all you gotta do is watch to see what he does. This man tells him what to do. The main thing, you gotta keep that chaos going in your country with that wall, everything. NATO, talk against England, how can you talk against Canada? How can you make an enemy with the people of Canada? Trudeau.
Literally, they do nothing to nobody.
These are best friends. And when we talk about Mexico, have we ever heard President Trump ask the president of Mexico for $5 billion for the wall? He never asked him for the money. He asked for the money. We need to see you negotiate for the money. You go over to North Korea. You going over here. Go to Mexico. Let us see you ask for the money.
You talk about that. I have not seen him make any deal.
Right.
I can't think of any deal that he's made. There was no deal. There was no deal reached with Kim Jong-un. There was no deal reached with Mexico. No deal reached with Trudeau or Merkel or anybody. There's not even been a deal reached with Russia. The only thing is Putin says do this. That's not a deal. We just telling him what to do. Mm-hmm. He doesn't make any deals.
That's why his name is President Trump.
That makes no deals. And the thing is that Putin is a former KGB agent. He's skilled.
Right. This guy here that we're dealing with is unarmed. The President of the United States is unarmed. He got a holster with a whole lot of blank bullets. No bullets in there at all. He's
like I was on the plane coming back from Detroit in '82. Mm-hmm. A holster with no gun. You remember that?
Yeah.
I had a toy. My grandmother got me a cowboy holster. I had the cat gun, and I saw it in the store. Kids don't even play with these kind of toys anymore. You can get one. Back then, grandmother got me this cat gun, and it was really cool. And I would wear it all around. And when I had to get on the plane coming back from Detroit to fly into Baltimore, they said, you can't take this on the plane. And so she said, I'll mail it back to you. And I couldn't understand, well, I can't take a gun on the plane? Like, what it was, So I was crying. And did she tell you that? Yes, I was crying. Mm-hmm. And so they said, well, no, don't cry. We'll let him come in the cockpit with the captain and the co-captain. Yeah, so they let me come in and sit in the chair a little bit. They had the park brake on, and just kind of it was cool. It was a good consolation prize, mm-hmm. And so you can't even and this here's the thing. I got the gun through the security check. They didn't let me bring it on the plane. So this is right at the gate, at the door. Going in. They let me take it in because it was like, this was a time when you could do stuff like that. Right. But this is we right on the cusp of, I don't know. They like, that looks kind of real, and so now thinking back,
we still having those hijacks.
Yeah, they were called hijacks.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna take this plane and fly it somewhere else. But isn't it amazing how things change?
Oh yeah.
Like you wouldn't even think about that now. Like you would be in trouble, even bringing a toy gun on a plane. But now I didn't have it in the luggage. I had it on. Okay, I'm walking around.
My friend around used to say, "Gone are the days."
You know what I'm saying?
Those days are gone. Yeah.
Never to return. Yeah, never to return. Right. I saw a story where some firearms have been making it through the security check because the shutdown, things have been so laxed.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And the FDA doesn't have enough people to
that's scary. That's scary.
The salads and tomatoes. So it's not going to last long.
Yeah.
It's not going to last long. But they're going to, it can't last long.
Yeah, we can't do this too much longer. But thank you as always.
Yes.
This is we say it every week. Just interesting times. I don't think it's going to ever get to this point again, where we have somebody in office that is so unqualified. I don't even think. They were talking about, what's the guy in Texas that used to be in charge of HUD under President Obama that's running for Castro?
Yeah, Castro.
Julian Castro. They were saying, well, what do you say to the Republicans say that you're not qualified to be president?
Right. That's what they said to him?
I said that yesterday. Uh-huh. And so he answered it well. I like him, actually.
Yeah.
He answered it well. but he didn't say this, but I instantly thought about it. He basically said, they're going to say a lot of stuff, and, I've been in charge of agencies. I've, third largest, but my thing is that Trump had no qualifications to run. He's doing a horrible job. But, I mean, just about anybody who's going to run is going to be more qualified than Trump. So I think that the qualifications, as long as you meet the age requirements and the citizenship requirements, you can run.
And then, a good way to answer that, too, is to say, and he's going to be calm, and he's going to say, because he's going to get that a lot, like you're saying.
Yeah.
He's going to say, listen, hey, they probably said that about Donald Trump and Barack Obama. So they weren't qualified.
They actually did say that about both of them.
Yeah, you say it like just
matter of fact.
Yeah, matter of fact. Probably said about that.
It's very early. I know it is. If the election was Tuesday, coming up, who would you vote for?
I don't know, but Donald Trump would lose.
If it was Tuesday, he would absolutely lose. I know who I would vote for. I can already say right now who my front runner is. I don't know if it's going to end up like this, but the way it stands right now, she hasn't even announced yet, but I think she is in California.
Okay. Harris.
Kamala Harris. The way it is right now, if the election was Tuesday, that would be the person I'm voting for.
Right. Well, you know what? I think that
I really like her.
Yeah, I like her too. I think, however it goes down, whether a woman is going to beat it, whether she is the top or the second tier, as the vice president or the president, a woman is going to be involved in this defeat, and if he's still around in 2020.
Yeah, I really like her.
Why do you like her?
I mean, she has the energy. She knows what she's talking about. She's fearless, and she has good ideas, and I like somebody that makes sense. Everything she says makes sense. And she, you always hear the expression of the adult in the room. She definitely comes off as somebody who is a leader and should be in charge. And, everybody, now, I don't know if this country is ready, because right on the heels of Donald Trump, I don't know if they're ready for a lady president. I know a lady vice president would be, would be good, because some of these people just can't, what I mean. I think that some mindsets are just so stuck in the old days that they just can't. I don't know.
Well, you raise a good point, because when Bush's son was in office, and they felt that he did a horrible job.
You talking about W?
Yeah. And one of the reasons that they say that Obama got in is because he came in on the coattails of somebody that was horrible. So you're right, because they usually want the opposite of what's in office. So and this guy here is horrible right now in office, so they're going to want a complete change. I remember when Obama was running, they had some rednecks.
You were talking about the first time?
Yes, in 2008, and he got elected. And the redneck said, I can't think how he said it, but he said that that last guy did so bad, I had to vote for the nigger. That's how he said it. I'll tell you really, I voted for the nigger. And
jeez.
And so I think that this guy is going to be the same way.
W was a redneck like him.
Yeah.
You did bad. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, so I really like Kamala Harris. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know everybody who's going to, but this is going to be a crowded field.
Yeah, so she has an exploratory. But another thing I tell you, that's going to really work for Harris is that California is usually on the tail end of the primaries, and it's usually of no avail by the time they get to California. But there,
why is that? Why does that work to her advantage?
Because they're going to have their primaries in March of this year. I mean, 2020 March.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, so
that's a change.
They're going to be players. So
and that's a big time.
And that's what
She got that. She got that.
Yeah.
I think she's stronger than Elizabeth Warren to me.
Oh yeah. Well, Elizabeth Warren doesn't stand a chance. And then the other girl from New York just announced today.
Gillibrand?
Well, she's gonna announce today on
whose show?
On the late show. Can't think of his name. But,
what one of the late night shows?
Yeah,
non-political shows.
No, yeah. And,
Colbert or something like that.
Colbert. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. She's gonna be on his show tonight.
This is who now? Elizabeth Warren? No, not Elizabeth Warren. Gillibrand. Okay, so that's his local guy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Gillibrand?
She's okay, but I think that what you said,
she's stronger than Elizabeth Warren to me.
Elizabeth
Warren has made some really key mistakes, and she keeps making them, and she just gets negative press. I don't think she pulled the trigger when she needed to pull the trigger. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
But mistakes. She just doesn't have it. You know what I mean?
So it just exposed. You said there's nothing she could do. Yeah, she's not strong. She could be a part of the cabinet.
Yeah.
She ain't the girl though.
She's not.
She cannot defeat Trump.
She's not. No, she could. She's not presidential. Bernie Sanders can't beat him either. Bernie Sanders.
Now, in 2016, could he have beat him?
Who?
Bernie Sanders.
Trump?
Yeah.
No. Now, if he and
him and Hillary could not have beaten
Hillary.
Hillary Bernie ticket could have beaten the Trump Pence ticket.
Yeah, because when you talk about mistakes, I don't know about Elizabeth Warren making mistakes. It's just she doesn't have it. She can get it. But Hillary's mistake was not having Bernie on the ticket with her, because a lot of the people that were diehard Bernies.
So that was her biggest mistake.
Or they were diehard Bernies. Either they didn't vote, period, or they voted for Trump, and she lost a lot of those votes. That was crazy.
Sadly, I don't think she knows that. I don't think that she knows that was the biggest mistake. Mm-hmm. Because I think she would probably say, I should have been tougher in the debate, or when he stood behind me, I should have done, she would say anything but that.
I think you're right.
Which is why, in the words of Yoda, that is why you lose. That's why she lost, because she doesn't know that. And I think that her ego and emotion did not let her do it, because it was an obvious choice.
Yeah. And if you talk about her ego, what do you think her ego is doing now?
What's the opposite?
With all these people getting in, and she's.
Well, I think she can find comfort in the fact that she got women a little bit closer.
She's an historic figure.
Yeah, Geraldine Ferraro, with all her flaws, she got them a little bit closer. Mm-hmm. Did I say with all her flaws? Because I want to make sure that I say that. But Hillary Clinton got them a little bit closer, and I think that with the help of Trump and his foolishness, it may tip it over.
Yeah, I think so. And it would be really remarkable for this country to go from one extreme to the other and elect the first African American woman president.
Oh my God.
That would be unbelievable.
Listen, as much as we don't like Trump, if the end result is an African American woman president in 2020, then maybe it was worth it.
Yeah. And
as long as the world doesn't blow up.
And Castro's the vice president. Oh,
you like that? They would be so mad. Oh my God, they would be mad. Woo, they'd be mad.
Have a couple states saying they want to defect.
Yeah, well, I don't know how, because he's from Texas, right?
Right. Yeah,
so that's the one that would want to.
Yeah,
I think Texas is calming down some. I think that it's
getting kind of purplish.
Here's the states that are the issues are those historically troubled states.
Alabama, Mississippi.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Y'all can go. Yeah.
Yeah, They gonna be their own country?
Yeah.
We'll take them
You know,
over.
Texas was talking. They were talking about that when Obama became president.
Yeah, well.
You know, they want to become a, independent country.
That sounds crazy. And then California was talking about leaving when Trump came. Yeah. Hey, none of y'all states going nowhere. Come on now, be serious.
Well, I always enjoyed being here with my son.
Yeah, I enjoy it too.
It's a great experience. So, and this is how we talk all day.
Yeah, all day.
This is how this is it.
Yeah.
So you guys see us firsthand, live.
Right.
And in person.
Right. All right. Thanks, Dad.
Okay.
All right.